Time Loop Joseon Korea Old Kingdom Maid of Mobius 1-5. Character introductions. Here are the key characters from Time Loop Joseon Maid of Mobius. Eun-chan, 28 years old. A struggling modern-day makjang drama writer. After a tragic accident, she transmigrates into the body of Eun-bi, a low-ranking palace maid in Joseon. Armed with her extensive knowledge of drama clichés and plot twists, she quickly realizes she's trapped in a time loop centered around the crown prince's assassination. Initially overwhelmed by repeated deaths, she resolves to use her writer's instinct to manipulate events and rewrite her own destiny and that of Joseon. She evolves from a helpless extra to a skilled manipulator of fate. Crown Prince He, the target of repeated assassination attempts, and a central figure in the palace's conspiracies. He carries a deep sense of unease about his true identity and worthiness to be king, which Eun-chan will later discover is linked to a hidden birth secret and a royal curse. He is initially skeptical of Eun-chan but gradually comes to rely on her uncanny foresight, forming a complex alliance that wavers between trust and suspicion. His journey involves confronting uncomfortable truths about himself and his lineage. Queen Kong, the stern and seemingly emotionless queen, she is the orchestrator of the time loop, which she created to correct a past mistake related to the crown prince's assassination attempts. Beneath her cold exterior lies a profound maternal grief and a desire for revenge over her lost son. Eun-chan will gradually uncover her hidden sorrow and manipulate her complex emotions to gain her as an unlikely, yet powerful, ally in the fight against Grand Minister Yoon. Grand Minister Yoon, the most powerful and corrupt figure among the queen's maternal relatives, holding immense influence within the palace. He is the mastermind behind the deeper conspiracies exploiting the crown prince's true birth secret to secure royal power for his own family. He is driven by insatiable greed, embezzling funds and pilfering royal treasures, and uses manipulation and threats to maintain his control. Eun-chan systematically dismantles his power by exposing his misdeeds. Royal Guard Eun-gi-jun, a steadfast and loyal royal guard, assigned to the crown prince, later to Eun-chan. He is a man of integrity, but struggles with a hidden, unrequited love for Princess Haejong. This deep affection makes him vulnerable but also fiercely devoted. Eun-chan leverages his love for Princess Haejong to gain his loyalty, turning him into a crucial ally who is willing to risk everything to protect those he cares about. Part 1: The Mobius Trap. First episode: A B-list writer's tragic beginning. Eun-chan, 28, was a struggling makjang drama writer, convinced that real life was far duller than the soap opera clichés of infidelity, birth secrets, and satisfying revenge. Her mind overflowed with sensational plots and thrilling twists, but her own reality was a tedious, uneventful path. Dejected by her failures, she crumpled yet another script late at night and trudged home. That's when it happened. The blinding headlights of a drunk driver's car filled her vision. The roaring engine pierced her ears. With a violent impact, her consciousness plunged into absolute darkness. When she jolted awake, trembling, Eun-chan found herself clad in unfamiliar Joseon palace attire. A stiff blue skirt, a tightly coiffed chignon. In the dim light of an oil lamp, strange faces peered down at her. "Eun-bi, are you awake? We must attend to Her Majesty, the Queen." Eun-chan realized she had transmigrated into the body of a Joseon palace maid named Eun-bi. Her duty was to serve the stern and emotionless Queen Kong. The queen's cold gaze felt to her like the ultimate antagonist from a drama, devoid of warmth or compassion. Eun-chan desperately hoped this was all just a nightmare. An unfamiliar sense of déjà vu, though she'd never experienced this before, filled her with unease. Second episode predicted death and a shocking repetition. Eun-chan immediately sensed the gravity of her situation. Her modern sensibilities picked up on the subtle tension permeating the Joseon palace. Every rustle of a court lady's skirt, every hushed breath of a minister, even the faint cough of the king. Just as if it were written in a script, assassins burst into the Eastern Palace, attempting to murder Crown Prince He. Protect His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince. The desperate cries of the royal guards echoed in her ears. Eun-chan instinctively screamed and tried to flee, but it was too late. The cold touch of metal, a blood-soaked blade, pierced her heart. As she collapsed, her last glimpse was of the Crown Prince, also bleeding and falling to the ground. "Seriously, I'm dying as a mere extra? Couldn't I at least reveal a birth secret before I go?" Her final thought was one of absurd futility. But she opened her eyes again. A splitting headache and the horrific tragedy of yesterday was gone, replaced by the peaceful morning sunlight streaming through the window. The calendar showed the exact same date as yesterday. A shiver ran down her spine. "Eun-bi, how long are you going to sleep? Her Majesty, the Queen is waiting." The familiar voice of a court lady. She wanted to scream, but no sound came out. She was trapped in a time loop, a common trope in makjang dramas. Death was not the end. The helpless life of an extra repeated endlessly. Third episode: The Mobius Strip. Several loops repeated. Eun-chan realized that the Crown Prince's assassination attempt was not a mere accident, but the result of a deep-seated conspiracy within the palace. Each time, she tried desperately to stop the assassins but failed. dying in the exact same way. A sense of despair washed over her as she realized that no matter what she did, the outcome remained unchanged. She memorized the assassin's movements, the maid's paths, even the queen's subtle facial expressions. Each time, the coldness of the blade, the smell of blood, and her own helplessness were vividly replayed. No, please, I can't die like this. The suffocating pain, followed by the inevitable repetition, exhausted her. She wailed. Her eyes were bloodshot, her body convulsing. Like an actor trapped in the script of a grand play, she couldn't escape her predetermined fate. She desperately wanted to break free from this horrifying cycle. Fourth episode, The Writer's Eye. Lost in helplessness, Eun-chan suddenly began to perceive this entire tragedy not as life, but as a drama. Through the repeated deaths, she regained her composure. Alright, this is a perfect makjang drama cliché, isn't it? If so, I just need to rewrite the script. She awakened her writer's instinct, beginning to analyze the complex power struggles and factional structures within the palace. Who wanted to kill the crown prince? Who was pulling the queen's strings? She sketched out the hidden desires and intricate relationships of each character in her mind. Grand Minister Yoon, the queen, even the king. As she plotted this vast web of interconnected destinies, she began to see a way out of this hellish loop. Her eyes were no longer filled with despair, but with the burning resolve of a writer eager to create a new script. Fifth episode, Controlling Death. In the fifth loop, Eun-chan decided she would no longer be a helpless victim of death. Instead, she would design her own demise. She had learned that the loop reset at the point of her death. So, when the assassin's blade approached, she didn't evade it. Instead, she threw herself onto the palace's high wall and then flung herself down, choosing a dramatic end. The other palace attendants and even the assassins were thrown into confusion by her sudden, unexpected act. The wind whistled past her ears as her hanbo fluttered wildly, the harsh stone ground rushing up to meet her. Death itself is under my control. This is the true charm of a makjang. With the agonizing impact, she anticipated the start of the next loop with a sense of grim satisfaction. She was no longer a victim of the loop, she was its manipulator.